think we can the other window.
I'll take a shower.
Now once again, we have Diana. Would you tell the stories of the chickens now?
Yes, now I will tell you the stories of the chicken. We lived in Texas, and we had a little child growing up farm. And
wait, explain what a child growing up farm is.
Okay, well, it wasn't a farm to grow to make a profit. It was just a lot of land and animals so that kids can play and interact with them and kind of grow and stuff and that. We used to have rabbits, and we had special rabbit cages, and they stood off the ground they were about 4 foot high, and they were about maybe that wide. Okay, so there was, and then the bottom of it was mesh wire, and so we no longer had rabbits at this time that the story took place. But we had wild dogs by where we would live, and it got really bad one time, and they just kept coming in and eating our chickens at night. So finally, Dad says we're going to take the smaller chickens, not the full-grown hens, and not the chickies, and we're going to put them in this little rabbit cage. We used to have lots of chickens. Anyway, so we put these medium-sized chickens right in the cage, and there was about 12. Around 12. And the dogs, we woke up that night with a terrible ruckus. I mean, the dogs and chickens screaming or screeching, and the dogs barking, and we came out, and my dad was out with his gun, and he scared away the dogs. And there we had all these chickens who had their feet like this. This is how they grabbed onto the wire. Well, the dogs came and ate off the ends of their feet, and ate some of their arms a little more up higher, and then ate some of their tails. We pulled it and tried to get the chickens through the wire from their tails. And so we had just this horrible mess, but here were these 12 chickens, or around 12-ish, chickens that were just really, really, in sad shape. And so my dad was just going to kill them and eat them, And my sister Paula would just not have that. She was so upset by that. So she begged and pleaded with my dad, please just give me, 2 weeks to get these chickens.
Oh, no.
To give these chickens more, to give them a chance to live. So my dad agreed to that. We'll give you 2 weeks. Well, my sister took this on as her main project. She gave each one of them their own little box, and we had this really big family playroom. And she gave them each a box, and she had them strung out all through the playroom. And every morning when she first woke up, the first thing she'd do is she'd go and peroxide their little wounds, and go nurse and feed them aspirin with water, and feed them with soft watered feed so that they could eat it easier. And she just babied these chickens. And then when she came home from school, then she redid everything that she did in the morning. She refed them, re-peroxide and that. And then when their sores were well enough to start working with, she started physical therapy for these chickens. And that is where she taped popsicle sticks alongside their legs to give them more support, and then she taught them how to walk with like that. She taught them how to walk like this, like that. Well, they kind of hobbled like that, and so we had 12 chickens. And at the end of the 2 weeks, the chickens were healed enough and could walk enough that Dad let them live. And so we had 12 chickens around 12 chickens that could walk with just stubs. And they were our best laying hens.
And why was that?
I don't know.
You have told me.
They had the most chickens because the more little chicks, because they couldn't run away from the roosters fast. It was caca. And then, I don't know, but they were our best laying hens, our best hatching hens too. And that's the story of the chickens.
Here I am rewinding. Yes, this is very exciting.
What's wrong?
Lori's having fun. Lori, did you know there's someone sitting in there? They would love to be viewed by you.
I will take his picture, but I just wanted the people I live with to be captured.
He's lived here too.
And I will have him.
Hey, I have not.
But first things first.
Hey, Laura.
Hi.
Hey, Ricky.
Pretty tricky,
Should I
huh?
quote a scripture for you?
Yeah, please do.
I don't know any.
That's not true.
So what are you doing this for?
What? Oh, my cousin's getting married and I'm practicing. I've never run one of these things. Yes, Diana?
Is Lori down here?
Yeah, she's taking pictures of everybody. Come here. Look, Lori. See Lori take
Right,
pictures.
she's already seen me. I told her the chicken story on this. Do you want this?
Oh, that's
I don't
cute.
know if it would be able to. You might have to take it in some. But
You know what? You might want to give it to
Model
someone
it
else
for
because
her.
I don't look good in plaid and I don't look good in really gathered stuff. I have to.
well, it takes you in right at the waist, and it's.
I know, but
Okay.
but
I'm not-
I know my body.
I'm not gonna force this on you.
No, it's a nice thing, but it wouldn't fit my figure. I
Do you
mean,
want something you could take in? I never wear this. I've never worn it. I bought it and never
hey,
ever
go
wore
kiss
it.
Gina.
2.5 years old.
Michael.
Hi, Gina.
We can really say they're
I'm
engaged now.
blushing, Gina.
Let's see Gina's face now.
Fine, I'm not embarrassed.
I've never seen you kiss one another.
Yeah?
Okay, now this is what the doctor said. If her blisters start turning yellow or pussy or something, she needs to go. This is gross. We don't want to hear this.
She has to take them off?
Take the blisters off
Okay.
and clean them, and make sure she gets like triple antibiotic ointment on it. Neosporin or polysporin. And
Gina, why don't you tell this camera what happened this morning and your bad experiences with everything.
she
Well,
broke a nail.
yes, I did break a nail.
You broke a nail?
Yeah, major one.
Gina.
Yeah, that's true. But see this? I'll show you. Lori laughed at this and told me to put baking soda on it. And I put baking soda on it and it was very painful. And so then the hospital was called by Miss Diana Passy. And all was well because Diana took care of me. And I drowned my arm for half an hour in freezing cold water without being able to move once.
Running water. And why couldn't she move? Why, Diana?
She did two moves. She cheated several times. I had to tell her.
Now, how could she do that with you standing right over her?
Well, I came over here to help her with the record, but I failed at that.
So you had to go change the record? That's what she calls cheating?
Well, she kept taking her hand out of the water, going, I can't feel it.
Yeah, I can see why that would sort of be important
Anyway,
to
and
her.
then she got mad at me because, well, the lady at the burn center told me to have her flush it for at least a half hour.
And it wouldn't
and
fit in the toilet.
And then, huh?
Why?
No, in the sink.
Oh, okay.
And but the package said if you get it on, just flush it for 10 to 15 minutes. So I made her do it double time, but only because whoever told me on the phone told me to do it that long.
Mm.
It's a very exciting event of the day, yes.
We laughed and had fun with it. Gina and Mike are getting married when, Mike?
August 5th
And where are you getting married?
in Nevada.
At one of those marriage
One of those
parlors?
little chapels, you seen them? The little
Mhm.
ones? Really cute. Cheap too.
Cheap, huh? How much does an LDS temple charge?
They charge 10% of everything you earn. And
You pay that at the door?
not every year. This is for life.
Oh, it's kind of a communal thing, huh?
Yeah, on this middle thing. And after that, there's things like fast offerings and budget, missionary fund. And you're also obligated to have children when you get married in the temple. So
Obligated, huh?
each children, by the time he goes through high school, will cost $180,000.
Mm.
The temple marriage can be quite expensive, yes.
Wow. Now, how do they obligate you to have children? Do they?
They don't obligate you, but if you do it in the temple, then you're bound by the covenant you make with the Lord. You're
Really?
obligated with the Lord. And as it says in Doctrine and Covenants, as you covenant in the temple, the earth fulfills its creation by measure
Wow.
of man, and that means parents, it's our job to have kids and stuff. So.
Wow. When do you suspect you'll start having kids, Mike?
Oh, about 9 months after August. No.
Please.
Do you know when do you
I was
think?
just waiting for a little comment over there.
When do you want to start having
We're gonna
children?
have 24.
Really?
Yes.
When are you going to start having kids?
When?
Mhm.
I think that probably depends on Gina.
Really?
Ask Gina.
You mean Gina's going to be involved in this some?
Yeah.
Wow.
Amazing.
Kind of a
This is
two-way
amazing.
thing.
Yeah.
Have you really thought about the fact that you're really going to be like married, responsible, and able to have children?
No, not at all. We're just kind of doing this.
No, we're just gonna be married and able to have children, not responsible.
Oh, kind of like the rest of the world?
Yeah.
Wow. And as you can see, my what?
What are you going to show us to? Huh?
This is just practice. I'm trying to practice for the wedding.
Charlie? What's she's doing to me? Charlie? Look what she's doing. She's filming. Kim, look at his face.
Well,
Oh, come on.
now Susan's my roommate that's slept in the same room as I, and she loves beds.
Yeah, I wonder why I like that.
She's a wild woman too.
She's been